What's going on, guys? This is Mars Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Dark Souls PvP. Alright guys, we're back at it with part 2 of the two-part series that I like to title Lessons from Losing. And in the event that you guys missed part 1, this is basically a two-part series featuring myself against EIiitti. Alright, so we did a lot of ranting on the first part of the video, so let's just try to go into the builds and a couple other things as we see the events unfold. Alright, so myself, this is probably the most popular build that I use, and it's basically my 2840 quality build. I have more hours invested into this build, and when I say this build, I don't mean this build on this console. I mean, I play the 2840 more than I do any other build, and you know, it's just so versatile in my opinion. You know, now the strength build, you know, whether it be the 4018 or the 5018 or even the 5013, no matter what variation of strength build you use, it still has limitations in that you are limited to strength weapons. Whereas the 2840, you can basically use pretty much anything. Alright, all except for some of the weapons that have a strength requirement of over 40. So this is probably my most popular build. And I mean, another reason, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys, especially for you guys that are familiar with the channel, you guys would know that, granted, I have hybrid builds, I have caster builds, and I'm pretty decent with my hybrids, especially the Faith Mage. But, you know, despite being pretty decent with that Faith Mage, I just really prefer the pure melee build. And for a lot of you guys like to get all technical, right? Because I know there's going to be someone, because I've had it done in the past, they'll say, well, you use a bow and technically that's not pure melee. Okay, let me once again, let me just go ahead and define pure melee, how I see it. Pure melee is basically a build wherein you are not using any castings, right? So let's just keep this thing straightforward and simple. That's how I define my melee. No castings, whether it be pyro, sorceries, or miracles. No castings. Alright, so nothing was really going on right there. I know I popped the humanity, but we were basically chatting, and he was just basically talking about the combo, and he said, okay, I got the combo on you, so you can go ahead and pop off with a humanity. So there's really nothing going on right there. And basically that's a deadly combo. And although me personally, I don't use that combo in duels, I use that combo a heck of a lot during my forced invasions. And actually that right there should have been a parry. You know, there's a number of occasions in this two-part series where, you know, I'm right there, and you know, seemingly if I had the buckler, he would have been parried, but for some reason I'm still trying to figure out if there's a difference in the parry timing when you compare the falcon or an offhand weapon with a shield. Because I swear, just that one situation where I just referenced, and a few others that you guys might notice in the future, it seems as though he should have been parried, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's lag, or I don't know if I just need to get a little better with my offhand weapon timing. Because like I said before, I'm relatively new to the no shield gameplay style. I'm relatively new to it. So there's still a lot of things that I'm trying to learn. You guys notice I got that toggle, but he continued with it, and I was able to toggle a second time, but not fast enough. And you know, with this being a new gameplay style for myself, you know, leaving my comfort zone and not having a shield, I'm not really comfortable with parrying yet. I'm still trying to get proficient with not having a shield, let alone getting my timings right. So, you know, the more that I had these matches, I was thinking to myself, like, you know what, I mean, we're basically sparring. I mean, this is basically a learning session for myself. So why not just get in here and practice some parries? So what you guys are going to notice is a lot of these cases, when he gets real close to me, I do whatever I can to face him and parry, because he does a lot of what I would consider to be close quarter combat attacks. Alright, so I was able to get him with the roll BS right there. And GG. So, like I was saying about my build, nothing really special about it. And this particular variation, because, you know, we were kind of on the chat and we were talking about poise, and he made a comment about using certain tactics with poise that have at least 53 points, or at least 53 points in poise. So I thought about it. I said, you know what? If I'm ever going to improve in my toggling, I probably need to go ahead and lower it. And instead of going to the extreme of 0 points, you guys notice that he maneuvered himself right behind my back with that roll. And actually, with that parry attempt when he was trying to turtle me behind the shield, I don't know why I didn't get that parry. But, you know, like I said before, it is what it is. The more I practice with this no shield gameplay style, the more I will get better at the timings with the Falcon, because I'm noticing that it's definitely different than what it is with the buckler. You know, I heard some of the hotshots say there's no difference, but I have definitely noticed that it is a slight difference. Now, that quick, you know, toe-to-toe combat, that was off the hook, because for the most part, if you guys notice, I parried because I thought he was going to attack, but he basically just maneuvered around my back for the BS. So that was a good toe-to-toe punch hit right there. Alright, so once again, I missed that parry. And like I said before, with these series of matches, I basically, you know, not only doing my own thing, but trying to pick up on his own patterns. And one thing that I will realize, well actually that I realized toward the end of this series, is that he would get close and he would attack. But once he saw that I would start parrying a little more often than what I did before, there was another reverse roll. He started to hesitate on his attacks. So in other words, whereas in the past he would just kind of scoot around me and attack, once he noticed that I parried more, he would kind of hesitate, you know, maybe 1 or 2 seconds before he would engage again. So, I mean, we're both kind of trying to, you know, read each other's play styles as we go. Alright. So let's talk about his build. He has a pretty awesome build. And actually, he gave me the stats to it, so I'm going to go ahead and put the stats to his build in the description box. But for the most part, it's a 0 poise build. And actually, I can't even say for the most part, it is a 0 poise build. He's using the Ring of Favor protection and the steel, you know, Ring of Steel protection, something like that. The one that you get in Sin's Fortress. So he basically told me that although he has no poise, he has like 300, I think he said 370, maybe 380. I can't really remember how much poise he has, but somewhere around 360, 300, somewhere between 360 and 380. I'll have to check out the build once I look at the link myself. But somewhere between 360 and 380 as far as defense. And he said he has, okay, so I finally got a parry right there, but I was too quick on the draw. I should have waited like a half second before I swung. So yeah, like I was saying, so not only does he have high defense with 0 poise, but he also has, I can't remember if he said just under 2,000 or a little over 2,000. So I'll just say somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000. So he's a 20, either he's a 2840 or a 2740. He has 40 endurance, and this is just based off the chats. Like I said before, I'm going to have to check out the build, and I'll put the link in the description box. And the rest is basically being pumped into vitality. And he explained to me that the significance behind having the shield is that he wanted a shield with a lot of stability, so that his endurance and stamina, I mean not his endurance, but so that his stamina wouldn't get drained. Because with him having 0 poise, if I were to take advantage of his stamina being drained, I'm basically just hitting him with combinations, which is true. I mean, because think about it. Think about even when you do have poise and you run out of stamina. I mean, you're basically hit, let alone a build with 0 poise. Alright, so he beat me with a high-speed noob swing right there. And that's just basically a term that I use to describe, you know, You know how the noobs do? They'll just get a great sword and they'll just R1 spam like 20 times straight without a pause in between. So I just call that, we call that the noob swing. So he basically got me with a noob swing right there. So basically, with regard to his build and rocking the zero poise, basically the high vitality and high defense helps, in addition to blocking. Right? And the thing that I like about his playstyle, and a lot of other guys that I play, he is always engaging. I don't know how many times I've gotten, see, I don't know why I didn't get a parry right there, but he is always engaging. I've played far too many guys, and basically I get really salty when I fight against people who don't like to engage, because my thing is, if we're both here to fight, then get out of here with the being extra defensive. I want to fight. I don't want to sit here and follow anyone with a shield. And I know someone may make the argument, well, pull out your shoulder. Listen, dude, if we're both here to fight, why should I have to go through all that? Granted, I'll pull out a shoulder if I want to, but I shouldn't have to chase you. I shouldn't have to basically circle around you for 2 or 3 minutes because you're basically just walking around with an erected shield. It's ridiculous. So, you know, with me, shield or no shield, I'm engaging. With him, poise or no poise, he's engaging. And I think that's what keeps the fights exciting. Because no matter what your perceived strength or weaknesses are, you're always engaging. And that's a good thing. And actually, he tried to hit me with the reverse roll right there, but this Claymore is really being useful, especially with those one-handed R1s. Okay, so I was definitely early with that poise attempt. And actually, I tried to circle around him for the BS, but I couldn't catch him. Alright, and that was another reverse roll. Those reverse rolls definitely put him in a great position for the punish. Alright, so as I stated in the past, I hope you guys are enjoying the 2-part series. It's always a treat when I get a chance to have a good series with good old EIiitti. Now, I will find myself playing on Xbox a little more, you know, because I get comments with guys saying, dude, are you ever on Xbox? And the answer is no. But I have been late, see, just right there. I don't know why they get that parry. Because if this was a buckler or a medium shield, he would have been parried. So like I said before, I really think I need to practice on my parry timing with that Falcon. So like I was saying, currently PS3, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you PS3 guys know, that no thanks to the more recent patch that we received, we now have a visual glitch. And that visual glitch is just really, you know, discouraging with regard to me wanting to play on PS3. So I found myself, for the most part, on Xbox playing a little more often. The bad thing about that is Xbox doesn't really have a lively player base. So it's kind of like, you know, insofar as someone's having a fight club, or, you know, I'm doing an arranged set of matches. You know, shout out to Lord of Grief. I had a series with him not too long ago. And shout out to, obviously, EIiitti. I just had a series with him. I was able to actually shout out to Mark Mallows. I tried to have a series with him, but unfortunately, I think our nets are incompatible because I just couldn't connect with that guy. And the next person I plan to have a series of matches with is good old Ferris, DKS. He's an awesome commentator, up-and-coming commentator. You guys can go ahead and check him out. So hopefully I'll be able to get Ferris sometime this week if his schedule is not too busy. But other than that, you know, I just really won't be on Xbox that often because it's just dead. You know, when I want to get on here in PvP, I want to PvP. And that's basically the main advantage, in my personal opinion, that PS3 has over Xbox with regard to Dark Souls. PS3 has the most lively community whenever you want to PvP. Flat out. I've played all versions. PC, PS3, and Xbox. And PS3, hands down, has the most lively PvP community. I can always find PvP there. Forest, Berg, no matter where I want to go, there's always someone there ready to fight. Alright, so, in addition to good old Ferris, it's Skies. Hey, dude, if you're listening, I accepted your friend request. So hopefully we can get on this week, and I'll make sure that I'll spend a little more time on Xbox, and perhaps we can link up with each other and have a series of matches. Alright, guys, well, this is basically it for the two-part series. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, thanks again to EIiitti for the wonderful two-part series. I definitely learned a lot, and I'll be taking a lot of these lessons that I learned with me out on the battlefield. So, once again, guys, one more thing. I finally reached my 10,000 subscriber mark. 10,000. I love you guys for it. I definitely couldn't have done it without you. I mean, I've been through a whole bunch within this last year, but despite all that, this channel has definitely grown, and I just want to send a personal thanks and shout out to everybody. Until next time, Martyrs Brigade.